Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What would you say you do here?
God damn it. Bob, we love playing here tonight. My brother's ready.
It helps if you think of it as a game, Bob. Every game has a winner and a loser.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob.
Yo, welcome to episode 49 of the TwoBobsCast. We're an A to Z rock and metal podcast coming to you live on YouTube just about every Tuesday, sometimes every Monday once in a while, but usually Tuesdays. We're back on our regularly scheduled program. Had to do Exodus last week on Monday due to summer plans, but we are back live now on Tuesday. Good news, bad news, a little bit of all kinds of stuff going around today. So, we'll kind of share some of that with you guys. But again, I am here with my trusty sidekick partner, the esteemed co-host, Mr. H. What's going on, Mr. H? How you doing?
I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
We lost the Prince of Darkness today.
We did. Yeah, it's about 2-3 hours. Yeah, we started seeing the messages like probably everybody else that we lost them, and if you were honest, you probably figured it was going to be happening sooner than later.
Right, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I'm just sad.
Yeah, it sucks when it actually happens.
Right.
You can't really plan for it.
Right.
As we talked about, we did a lot of texting before, just kind of shared some of our, I guess, kind of stories about it. Going to see him in concert, and of course, what impact Ozfest had on both lives.
Oh my God, yeah.
Being young into music, especially me being a teenager and kind of, not really establishing what I'm going to listen to for my life yet, and a lot of those Ozfests really kind of introduced me to all these metal bands and, just kind of shaped what I was going to listen to for the rest of my life. And, I got to see Ozzy. I didn't get a chance to see him. Like you and our friend Brian, he talks all the time how he got to see him for the Master Puppets Ultimate Sin tour, which, I mean, could you even imagine? Like, I couldn't imagine. That probably have been the best show ever. Two of my favorite metal albums of all time right there, Master Puppets and Ultimate Sin. So
yeah, for sure.
But I got a chance to see him, and I might not have gotten a chance to see him if it wasn't for those Ozfests. So
yeah,
he's definitely left a legacy on music and culture, and dude is just a monster. So just a really sad loss for sure for the metal community and everybody in general. So yes, as you can see behind me and behind Ozzy on the screen here, we are doing Five Finger Death Punch today, but Mr. H has got some grievances that he would like to air. So he figured Ozzy needs to be up front and center today. So you can see Five Finger Death Punch behind, but Ozzy is the visual we are going to see out in front today.
Yeah, Five Finger Death Punch isn't the band that Five Finger Death Punch used to be. It's not even close. I don't know what they're trying to pass themselves off as here, but Ozzy, we decided to cover him up with somebody who was real, at least, and didn't really ever change. So, we figured, hey, he's not Five Finger Death Punch either, so we'll put him over top of the band that used to be Five Finger Death Punch. So,
yep.
And, because it's a great picture too.
Yeah, really absolutely. Is. Before we get into all our thoughts and feelings on the albums and the band that is Five Finger Death Punch, let's talk a little bit about a band that myself and Mr. H got to see twice in 2 days over the last week.
Ghost.
We got to see the band Ghost, first time for Mr. H, and then the second time for Mr. H.
Yes, sir.
So, both of us went separately to see them in Cleveland here at the Rocket Arena. And we were just, I'd seen them before, so I was pretty much what I expected. They blew me away. Their stage show, their sound, just everything is so good. And Mr. H had his own feelings about it.
Yeah, it was unbelievably good. Like it was. I had said that I probably the building's been there for 30 years now, right? I've probably been to concerts there. I mean, even at 3 a year, on average, that's 90 shows. So somewhere in the 75 to 100 times I've been there to see shows. This was the single best sounding show I've ever heard in that building, ever. Like it was unbelievably clear. I didn't know that an arena could sound that good. I just go into those arenas just assuming that they're going to sound kind of like crap.
Yeah, you kind of
But
expect it.
oh my, it was so crystal clear. Like they came out with Peacefield. They opened with Peacefield, and it didn't sound very good. It was kind of echoey, that's what I expected. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks. But it's an arena show. That's how it is. From song 2 to song 19, it sounded unbelievably amazing. Like just the guitars, the both of them were screaming, and it was crystal clear. You could hear every note that everybody was playing. The vocals sounded amazing. It just was unbelievably good. And it kind of sucked because I couldn't see the backdrop very well, and the way that they had the stage set up, they had the screens kind of at an angle, and it was too high up under the lighting rig, so I could only see the bottom of the one screen, and then the other screen was perfectly missed. I couldn't see it at all. But like it sounded so good, it almost didn't matter. I would like to have seen that stuff better, but
yeah,
oh, goodness. So then, you scored some tickets for Pittsburgh, which was the very next night. And so, in a roundabout way, I originally figured, I don't know, it can't be better than the last night that I just saw, right? So I wasn't going to go. And then I'm like, but let me know later when you're about to leave or whatever if you have an extra ticket. And sure enough, you had this really long day of trying to find people to go, and he had his son's friend driving up from Tennessee that we had to meet. Like we had to time that out. And it ended up working out where we met over here by my house. We went out to Pittsburgh. You paid for parking up front, which is the smartest thing. We parked. We figured out where the parking lot was. We parked. We walked into the arena. We put our phones in the yonder pouches. We went up. They went to the bathroom. We found our seats. We sat down, and within 15 seconds, the lights went out and they came on. And the set list was better. We could see the stage a lot better. It didn't sound as good to me. It was still good, but not phenomenally good like it did the night before. But what an amazing time. And how the timing of all of that, the way it worked out.
Yeah, the stress of the day just culminated in perfection in timing. I had to shrug my shoulders, like, man, like all that stress, and it didn't even affect it. I mean, it was a lot of work, but the planning and all that stuff, and some of the decisions I made, if I wouldn't have made them, we would have missed most of the show.
Even down to the security guy, waved us over. There's these huge security lines waiting to get in because everybody's got to lock their phones up. It's taken a while. This guy over at the suite entrance looks at us and he goes, "How many you got?" And we're like, 4. He goes, "Come over here." There was 12 people in line over there. We got our phones locked up. We literally would have missed the first song had we stood in this super long line. Everything that needed to go right happened. It was unbelievable. It really was unbelievable. So another great show, better set list. They did 3 songs I think were different. And they were better than the 3 we had heard, even though those were great too. Man, what an experience! Got to see it 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, if you're in an area and Ghost is coming through, it's worth checking out. You got to check it out, even if you're not a fan of Ghost. I get it. If you want to get in the debates of is it metal, is it whatever, I don't really care what it is. It's just good music. I feel like
just go see it. You'll be a bigger fan when you leave. I'll almost guarantee it. I don't see how you couldn't. They were so good.
Yep. Yeah, it's just enjoy the show. It's very theatrical. It's very And I think it's just kind of a bonus that there's some good rock riffs, and I mean the guitarists are talented, the keyboards are cool, like it's all very well done. So definitely check it out.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, I think
agree more. Couldn't recommend it more. It was so good. And for my first time, I was glad I bought the movie because you were telling me how great it was right here, right now. That came out, 2 years, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think 2 years
ago. Basically kind of from the last tour, but has story in it too. And I still haven't watched it. And I'm sad that I didn't because I had nothing to compare anything to. It was all new to me. Like I had not even seen a Ghost performance before to compare it to. It blew me away, man. Really did. So
Super
good.
cool.
What a great experience.
Yes, sir. All
and
right.
Before we go here, we both have a beer. Let's raise one to Ozzy.
Cheers.
Rest in peace, Ozzy, Prince of Darkness. All right.
We've delayed enough. Let's get into the feature, I guess the feature presentation, which will come early and kind of fade away late, I have a feeling. But what do you have, partner?
It's going to fade into hell.
Fade into obscurity and then past obscurity to hell.
I also have all black on today. I don't even have my hat turned around, kind of in mourning also. No concert t-shirt, but that was kind of hard to do because it's about the only thing I have that's just all black. But anyhow, Finger Death Punch formed in 2005 in Las Vegas, originally consisting of Ivan Moody on vocals, who used to be in a band called Motor Grader, Zoltan Bathory on guitar, who I can't remember what band he played bass in the band he was in before this one. I can't remember what it is now.
UPO.
It's been a long day. UPO, yes, which I never listened to. Caleb and Bingham also on guitar, Matt Snell on bass, and Jeremy Spencer on drums. Before the release of their first album, they brought in Daryl Abbott to replace Caleb Bingham on guitar. This band has had in question marks. I'm going to make a lot of references to later. I'm just going to say it now, and it'll all come together when we get to later. But I'm going to make a lot of references to later. This band has or had their own sound. The chunky muted riffs, the guitar riffs, the great solos. There's a lot of great solo work. The great double bass drum work by Jeremy Spencer. Like it was the kind of like mesmerizing thing that was done well by like Fear Factory and like some other bands. But I mean, this guy was almost like a machine. Like it was almost so perfect and it sounded so good. And then Ivan Moody's just unmistakable screaming and clean sing. He really did have at one time one of the coolest metal voices I've ever heard. I mean, the guys, when he would scream, like when he would have like angry, harsh vocals, you could understand every single word. There was no mistake in it. And then he's not a great singer, but he just has a great gift of like melody and being able to put these sung words together where it's not like over the top great, but you will whistle these songs forever. Like they get stuck in your head. Like he's had such a gift for that. I mean, the lyrics, whatever. I'm not a lyric guy, but the lyrics get kind of dumb and repetitive, and I'm sure Herb will speak more to that later, I'm sure. But
yes, I will.
Yes, but it's just, and there's a reason why they, people called them bro metal, and back in the day, I defended them. I was like, hey, these guys are better than you think they are, but no one ever sounded like them when they do their thing, when they did their thing. Onto the first album, Bro Metal commences. So, Way of the Fist comes out July 31st, 2007. There's 10 songs on this one. It was produced by Zoltan Bathory and Jeremy Spencer, two band members. This was introduced to me by a friend of mine, Rob, who I worked with. And he couldn't understand why I wasn't already into this band. Like, he knew the kind of music, the kind of guitar playing, the kind of stuff that I liked. The kind of more aggressive stuff, but not like super death metal. Like he just knew what I was into, and he's like, "Dude, this band is right in your wheelhouse. I don't know why you don't listen to these guys." So I finally just kind of made myself listen to them, and then once I started listening to the album, and by like the second time through it, I could not stop listening to this album and this band. I couldn't stop. I would just listen to it all the time. I would listen to this album when I would go to the gym to work out, and still to this day, when I listen to this album, I feel like I should be working out because the two became so synonymous. I would listen to the entire album and kind of do like different workouts, but they would all kind of end around the same time. It was like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And it's like, no matter what I did, I listened to this every time for the longest time. So I know every note and every word on this album. It's one of my favorite debut albums ever. I cannot say enough great things. I'm going to say some crap things later about this band, but I could not say enough great things about this album. It's so good. And Never Enough was a huge hit for them, and not a huge hit, but kind of helped after the bleeding, kind of put them on the map. But it didn't appear until the reissue of this album. It became a concert staple for them. I believe they still play it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the only song they play from this album is that one.
In the bleeding,
So,
they close with the bleeding.
yeah, I'm sorry.
usually.
You're right. They play the bleeding. That one I've heard enough times because I've heard it so many times because like back then, like that was the most accessible song this band had until a little bit later. So whenever you heard Five Finger Death Punch on XM or whatever, that's the only song you ever heard. So it was on all the time. So it's not my favorite song anymore. It's a great song, so I'm not going to dispute that. My favorites are Ashes and Way of the Fist, Salvation. Those are the first three songs on this album. I love all three of those songs. Death Before Dishonor is great, and I love the album closer, Meet the Monster. They actually played it the one time I saw them. I was so happy because I figured, I bet that's a song they played like maybe 10 times ever. So, but I love that song too. There's no way I love anything on this album. I love everything on here. This is A plus. I don't give out many of these, like I had said before and many times. This is A plus for me, but it's all downhill from here. I love everything about this album and probably always will. Even what they just did couldn't ruin it for me, but I wish I could have seen them on tour for this one. It's my only regret. I did not. They were on some, I think, Ozfest or festivals where they played early or like with bigger acts. But I just did not see them for this album, unfortunately. But it's great, man. What did you think of Way of the Fist?
Yeah, this is really, really good stuff, obviously. This is very Pantera-ish, I feel like. This is kind of where they got that groove metal thing. They definitely have their own sound. I'm not comparing them like note for note to Pantera, but when I first listened to this record, I kind of got those vibes, like of type of groove, type of metal. I just love it. You get into the bucket of listening to these riffs, and it's super cool. But yeah, I was lucky enough, and the only time I've ever seen them was for this album. I saw them in 2008 at Rock on the Range. They were one of the first bands that played. They were one of those noon, 1 o'clock bands, so super early. But I was pumped. Seeing their set, I was like, man, these guys sound great. These guys sound awesome. And I went and bought the album. Of course, I had heard the Bleed, like you said, on like Sirius XM, whatever it was. So I knew the song. But when I saw their live set, and I can't find what they played. Unfortunately, I didn't know them well enough to know the songs at that point. And that's one of the things that you can't see. I could probably see around that time something they were playing. But I remember the title track, Way of the Fist. I remember White Knuckles. I know they play that live too quite a bit. I don't know about anymore, but at least for a while.
Right.
But yeah,
anymore.
Right. Probably not.
I'm taking back control with my knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah, this is great stuff. I remember, listening to this a lot and really falling in love with the sound. Really had high hopes for this band. And we'll talk about how that ends up being pretty disappointing, kind of getting up their own ass a little bit, I feel like. But even on this album, you can start to sense that Moody's not the best lyric writer. I think he leans on certain. We'll talk more about that later on too, where I feel like they went all in on aiming towards a certain crowd at some point where they just totally owned it and it got real cheesy and real over the top. But this right here is a good sweet spot for them. It's just a lot of songs about like I'm in your ass and a bunch of that stuff. Like, no, you don't like me, whatever. I'll just fight you, and I'll whatever. It's all aggressive, type lyricism and stuff like that. But the musicianship you can't really deny here. Like you said, great solos. Just kind of wish we could have heard more about what Roberts would bring. Unfortunately, I guess he had some issues. I'll let you talk about that maybe a little bit after this, but yeah, it's a great album. A lot of good songs. Nothing to skip, as you said. This one falls at number 2 for me, but again, it's a fantastic album. I just like one a little bit better. This is an A- for me. Again, it's phenomenal stuff. I wish they would have released more like this just to go down this path. But this is really the only one we got that sounded like this. They changed almost instantly after this, down a different path. But good. Love the Fist. Number 2, A-.
Yeah, I saw a video earlier today that I've probably watched like 100 times. Like, I'm not kidding you when I say that I was obsessed with this band when this album came out. Like I said, I could not stop listening to it. I was dying to go see them. I watched this 2-minute video. I've probably watched the thing 100 times. It's Daryl Roberts and Zoltan just playing guitar like on a couch, like a playthrough, and it's like edited up. But they're playing different chunks of songs. Ashes, I think White Knuckles. There's a couple ones in there, and I watched it so many times because it was just so cool to me. Like, he plays guitar in a different way than anybody that I heard. Like, you compare him to Pantera, and there's a lot of similarities there, but one of them is not the guitar playing. Like, Dime is a totally different type of guitar player than what the stuff that Zoltan writes. It's all like super muted and crunchy, and like it's really fast, and it's, oh my god, it's just so good, and I just love that sound, and I could not get enough of hearing it. So, and Daryl Roberts, then, something happens, and yeah, Brian, we cheers again for R.I.P. Ozzy, man.
Cheers.
Oh man, thanks for being here. John will not be here. He's watching Justin. He's watching Bieber pitch.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Baby.
Oh.
He's watching Bieber pitch in single A ball at the Monsters.
Nice.
Crushers, whatever they are.
Yeah, that's cool.
Over there. So yeah. But Daryl Roberts, some stuff would happen. Since you found that clip, I'll let you talk what happened with him.
Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
I have
and
to...
he was replaced by a guy named Jason Hook. So this, anyway, Where Is the Answer came out September 22nd, 2009. 13 songs on this one. It's produced by Kevin Churko, which is a name he's going to be on here a lot. And he's got a bunch of songwriting credits. I don't think he gets this guy write songs with him now. But they ended up getting a guy named Jason Hook to replace Daryl Roberts, who does have a writing credit on Bulletproof on this album.
Mm-hmm.
But in replacing Roberts, I remember reading that Zoltan asked about a friend of Jeremy Spencer. He's like, who's that studio guy that picks like me? And like I said, Zoltan has his own kind of guitar sound style. I think he chokes way up on the pick, and he kind of helps him mute the strings over. And Jeremy Spencer, I guess, can pick like that too. And he asked Jason Hook picks like that too. He asked Jeremy Spencer, he's like, who's that guy? And he's like, you mean Jason Hook? And Zoltan said, yeah, let's get that guy to replace him. So you get this story pulled up?
Yeah. So basically, this comes from the book of Jeremy Spencer. He wrote a biography. Now, again, this is after he left the band, which we'll talk about later on, I think in 2018. He leaves because of back issues. He instantly started another band, which is almost like, well, are you being honest? So again, take it with a grain of salt. But basically, he said the guy had a lot of problems with alcohol, getting in fights because he was drunk, and then being hungover and not being able to go out and do meet and greets with fans. They basically got tired of all that. I guess not very dependable. This is coming from Jeremy Spencer. I don't know that there's been enough video or anything. They weren't super huge at the time, so it's not like they were out in everybody's vision and he's making all this trouble. I can't imagine they were doing a whole lot of meet and greet type stuff, but I guess he was showing up late for them, whatever. So ultimately the guy just I guess wasn't a good fit. Maybe they felt like they were breaking through. They wanted to make sure that they didn't have an issue, right? Exactly. But I honestly, I feel like you saying that obviously the drummer's friends with Jason Hook already. I feel like that kind of played into it as well, probably kind of like I want to get my buddy in the band,
right?
And Jason Hook, I mean, guy obviously super talented musician.
Yeah, like studio guy, but he was a young guy at the time. They're all in like their mid-20s, right? So I mean, he had to be. It's not like he's some 40-year-old dude who got in his band, right? So
story about Jason Hook too. So he produced this documentary Hired Gun, which it talks all about these studio musicians and these guys that are picked up off these bands and just brought in because they're A musicians, A tier musicians. And so he actually started out in the studio. Then he was touring with like Mandy Moore, which was hilarious because he still looks like he does today. Like he's just a dude with tats and wears jeans and black t-shirts. So he's up there rocking with Mandy Moore. And then he ends up then going and touring with Vince Neil on his solo stuff. So obviously that's more of a fit of his. But then they asked him to do what's that Hillary Duff, whoever Hannah Montana is. They got him to do that tour too. So he did tours with Mandy Moore and Hannah Montana. I don't remember what Duff that is, but
it's out of our realm.
And then from there, Alice Cooper ended up scooping him up. So when he was asked to join Five Finger Death Punch, he was actually the touring guitarist for Alice Cooper alongside Nina Strauss. So they were all together. So,
Miley Cyrus?
It's not. No, I'm thinking of the wrong one then, Brian.
Oh.
It's not Hannah Montana. It's whoever Hillary Duff played or Haley Duff. I can't remember which one. One of them was in like Napoleon Dynamite and the other one was the thing, but she was, it's just like Hannah Montana, but anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that, but anyway, Jason Hook was a respected musician. He was touring with Alice Cooper, and obviously he was friends with Jeremy Spencer, and he's like, hey, we're having problems with our dude. If we were to have an open spot, would you want to join us? And obviously that came to fruition here. So
yeah, and great for them. He fits right in. He is a really, really good player, like you said. He writes really good solos, although they will he does have his own solo style, and they do kind of sound the same after a while, but he's really good player. So, like I said, by the time the second album came out, I was obsessed with this band. I watched all these videos, and I actually drove to Grand Rapids, Michigan by myself to see them for the first time. Shadows Fall opened, OTEP opened, and so did a band called 2 Cents. It was at the Orbit Room in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it was just unbelievable. It was the longest drive. Like I want to say it's like 6 hours, and it's the boringest drive. It's like you're on this treadmill, like you go up the same little hill over and over again, and like it never ends. And it was so worth it. And I just all by myself, so I think it's the furthest I've ever gone to see anybody just by myself. Usually I'll go. I've been to lots of concerts by myself, but Peabody's, Odeon,
Sure.
usually stuff down here, smaller places, not like this was a small place too, but I usually didn't drive 6 hours. So it was a lonely time, but man, what a great show. More of the same on this album, mostly as Way of the Fist. A little bit more backing vocal stuff, kind of gang vocal stuff on here. Not a lot, but there's nothing on the first album really, but there is some on here. But just still have that unmistakable like Five Finger Death Punch sound to it. Most of these songs. Unfortunately for me, they discovered how popular ballads could be for them on this album. They almost got there with the bleeding, but that one still kind of rocks, and has its angry parts. I don't mind ballads too much on this album either, but it sure softened them up later for sure. My favorites on this one are Dying Breed, Bulletproof, Burn It Down. I love, love, love Burn It Down. I do love the Bad Company remake. Also, the song Bad Company, although I'm kind of tired of it at this point. And War is the Answer, another outstanding album closer. What a great song that is, too. Skipper's None, but From Home gets a little close with the string arrangement, the keyboards, etc. It's not what I signed up for with this band. They do some of this stuff well, this ballady stuff, but it gets to be too much. And I don't know. It's just this one. It's too much for me. So this is still an A for me, though. Not with that one notwithstanding, but there's still too much to like on this album for me to really rate it lower than that. But they've already kind of started to soften up a little bit, like you said. And of course, inevitably, they soared in popularity as a result as well. So going forward, but I do really, really still like this album. The first half of it's really heavy, and there's some heavy stuff later on too. But Walk Away kind of is a softer song, and Far From Home. But you still have some good stuff here. Bad Company's near the end, but it's pretty good. What did you think of Answer? I have it number two.
Okay,
number two. Yeah.
This is the peak for me. This is my favorite album that Five Finger Death Punch has ever done. I feel like they were going, they took what they did great in the first album, and I think they added things that I liked. It showed that they were strong songwriters to where I feel like they write ballads. But I guess I should have known that it was going to cause severe trouble later on, because this is like the sweet spot. I love everything they did on this album. It's heavy in a lot of spots. They continued right off the first record, the super heavy, quick riffs and amazing soaring guitar solos. Awesome stuff. The singing is really good here by Ivan. The lyrics are not super cheesy yet. It's still, again, in the same type of vein of, I'm the underdog, I'm gonna persevere even if I have to kick your ass to do it. That's the vibe he has, which he's
Dying Breed, Hard to See, Bulletproof, No One Gets Left Behind, Burn It Down, War is the Answer. They're all just fighting songs, really, right?
Yep.
All of them.
Exactly.
You can just tell by the titles.
Yeah.
Falling in
Absolutely.
Hate. I mean, come on, right?
The one thing I will say is I do give this band a lot of credit because they do a lot of covers, even on albums that I really don't like. I'm like, all right, well, this cover's pretty cool. There's not a lot that they do with covers that I'm like, this isn't good. There's a few, but there's not a lot where I say these guys should not have done that. I do like that they take cover songs and they make them their own. We've talked about this before with other bands. They're not truly just covering the song. They're
not
making it their own
level though.
No,
covers,
no.
but yeah, decent. I would.
Yeah,
good with this.
I think what they did with Bad Company is awesome. I think
it is.
It's phenomenal. And they have some better than others for sure, but I think this was a hit, and it was truly a hit. It blew them up. It was one of their only number one songs. So
it's got 500 million listens or something on Spotify. Just a ton.
Yep. But I like all these songs. I mean, this is, again, my favorite album. Some ones maybe that you didn't mention. I like Hard to See. I mean, I know it's one of their hits. I like it. No One Gets Left Behind is phenomenal. Burn It Down, like you said, is really, really good. My Own Hell is really good. You mentioned War is the Answer. I like the ballads on this.
Falling in Hate a lot. I mean, like I said, there's so many good songs on here.
Yeah. This is number one for me easily. This is an A. So I have 2 A albums of theirs. First 2, same as you. We just kind of have them flip flopped. But this is definitely where they're at their best. They pick up a lot of bad habits after this. Especially with the over the top cheesy lyrics and. Just some overdoing the ballads and adding different kinds of music. That's all yet to come. But this is a really good album. Number 1 and an A for me.
Okay, on to 2011. So they're putting one out every year at this point.
Yep.
So, yeah, even the next one.
Mhm.
October 11th, 2011, and there's 11 songs. So there's 311s there. So 311. This is produced by Kevin Churko again and the band. I got to see this tour. It was the next time I saw them. It was Trespass America, it was called, and it was at Nautica with Killswitch Engage and Trivium. That was a fantastic show. Their popularity went through the roof. I mean, after Bad Company and then with this album, just kept right on going. Um, really top heavy as far as favorite songs go for me,
Yes.
but I still do really like this album for the most part. Kevin Churko, this is where he starts getting writing credits. All tracks written by Evan Moody, Zoltan Bathory, Jason Hook, Jeremy Spencer, and Kevin Churko. So you don't see a lot of writing credits for a producer, but like from here on out, like he has a ton of writing credits. Apparently, he writes a lot of songs with them. So I don't know, has that guy been in a band of any kind? Like, or does he just write Five Finger Death Punch songs?
Yeah, he's a sound engineer
Right,
mostly.
right.
He's worked with Ozzy, rest in peace. Papa Roach, obviously Five Finger Death Punch, Disturbed. He worked with, and
Okay.
bands like In This Moment and Skillet.
I want to say that's all after Five Finger Death Punch, though, but I'm not positive of that.
He did the I Don't Want to Stop album from Ozzy, so that was 08. Scream,
Okay.
Let Me Hear You Scream. So I think that's it. He worked with Ozzy, then he went right to American Capitalist.
Okay. My favorites on here are American Capitalist title track is the first song. I like that one. Under and Over It, I like a lot, or at least I did. The Pride, I like a lot. Menace is really good, and Back for More. I also, so there's a lot of songs on here I still like. Really top heavy though. And Skippers for me, I Remember Everything. It's another big kind of ballad hit for them. I don't really like this one at all. And there are no covers on this one. So I
one of
have
the only
this
ones.
one. Yes, I believe so. I have this as a kind of B plus. I mean, maybe A minus territory, but I feel like it's probably more of a B plus. It's number 3, however you look at it for me. Still a ton of great stuff on here that I love, but Remember Everything is just too much. Outside of that, I can still get into this quite a bit. It's not all to the level it was, but I can still get into it quite a bit. What did you think of American Capitalist?
Yeah, the instrumentation I think is still there. It's still good. The guitars are still obviously really, really good here. This is the first time when I really sat and thought the lyrics are getting a little bit dumb. It's just the first time it's really stood out to me. The first 2 albums, again, this is hindsight kind of being 2020. I didn't get the sense that this was this bro band, that this was this, type of, cheesy lyrics. I mean, again, it was just cool. And this is kind of the first time when I was like, okay, it's a little bit silly. Like The Pride, I like it a lot, but the whole like Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire thing of just naming random shit.
Yeah, it's a list song. It's called a
yeah.
list song, where it's just kind of random things all kind of put together.
Yeah.
We Didn't Start the Fire, funny, interesting enough, is a list song also.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why it clipped it. That's what it, when I heard The Pride, the first thing I thought of, this is the metal version of We Didn't Start the Fire.
It really is.
Just naming all kinds of things in the verses.
Yeah. It's kind of a cheesy, easy way to write a song. You just put a bunch of things together that, either that you read or that happened or, that are short phrased things, events even like that you just list out.
Yep.
And, it doesn't have anything to do with any feelings or story or anything. It's just a list of things.
Yep.
So that's what it is.
Exactly.
But I love the guitar work.
Yeah, the guitar's
so
great. Yeah.
Good.
It's still a great song, but again, this is
lyrically it's dumb.
This is just the first time that I'm just like, okay, all right. And they get way worse. I mean, trust me, that's what this one here is. I mean, again, the instrumentation hasn't changed a whole lot. I agree with you. It's very top heavy. American Capitalist is awesome. Over and Under It, The Pride, Coming Down, Menace, Generation Dead, even I like. Then it gets a little bit, I agree with you on Remember Everything. I think they really slowed that down a lot. There's not it's not even, I don't know. It doesn't have the feel as the the ballads in the previous album. This one just feels like this is the step in the other direction. So not a huge fan.
Brings the album to a screeching
It
halt,
really
After
does.
Back for More and it sounds like Five Finger Death Punch sounds every time, and then you
Yep.
get Remember Everything, and you're like, what? What is this? Like, it just stop everything.
Yep.
It's such a shock.
Yeah. Also, bass player, the guy that's the bass player now, Chris Cale, is credited on this album, but I guess he didn't play anything on it. But he will be the bass player going forward.
Yeah, I bet. Didn't even put it in here.
Yeah, just a note there. Just because he's in the band now and he's
well known. Matt Snell, they both have the same look. Like it looked like they replaced one bass player with the same guy.
Right.
Like, and he doesn't add any. He doesn't play bass any differently. There's no different sound.
Right.
It's just they replaced one guy with a big beard with another guy with a big beard. It looks almost exactly the same.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, well, that's right on brand, I guess. That's what I was thinking when they got this guy.
Yep.
And
exactly.
I don't know. I don't see him listed anywhere as far as writing credits. This one.
Yeah, he definitely didn't. Again, they said he didn't even play on the album, but he's listed as personnel.
Nice.
So he must have joined the band right after. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, he is. There is.
Anyway, good album. I really like it. It slots in at number 3, just like it does for you. Pretty good stuff. I could definitely tell where things are slipping for them, but this is still pretty good. B+ for me, right about where you have it, number 3.
All right, we agree on that one. All right, so Wrong Side of Heaven, which is the first part of a double album. It came out July 30th, 2013. Both of these albums came out in 2013. 11 songs on this one, 12 songs on the second half. It's the Wrong Side of Heaven and the Righteous Side of Hell are the two. It's basically, that's the title. It's part 1 and part 2, but most people seem to refer to this one as the Wrong Side of Heaven, and the second part is the Righteous Side of Hell. So anyway, this is Kevin Churko and band again. Kevin Churko writing credits on all tracks on this one. Debuted at number 2 on Billboard, so they're really blowing up all over the place. Zoltan said that the band was tighter than ever, coming off of a great touring cycle, and everyone was pumped to record new music. So they came up with one album worth of music so quickly that they just decided to keep going. And then once they got to 24 songs, they knew that they were going to put out a double album. They were going to release everything. So I remember being really pumped for these two albums, and I was largely disappointed. And my kind of Five Finger Death Punch fandom or fanboydom, I couldn't get enough of these guys. That kind of never came back, and that was kind of killed off forever with these. There's just a lot of filler stuff. There's not a lot of great songs in here. Like before the first 3 albums, like at least half of the songs, even on American Capitalist, that I love, like that just don't. I know them. They sound different than the other 2 albums, and it's just this one doesn't have a lot of that. So it just, unfortunately, it was like just my fandom was harmed forever after this one. Zoltan also said that the music for them was very dear to them, and they feel like it's the best that they've ever created. Definitely not for me. My favorites are Lift Me Up with Rod Halford. This is the one giant bright spot. This song, they played it at the Golden Gods Awards, I think, in like 2012 with Rob Halford, and it's the first thing I had heard off of these 2 albums, and part of the reason I was so pumped about these coming out, because the song just rips. It's a great one. So I was like, oh, they're going to do it again, and there's going to be 24 of these songs, but it didn't work out that way. That's really my only favorite on this album. I do, though, want to say I do like The Wrong Side of Heaven, the song. It's probably the best ballad they've done, in my opinion. This one they kind of did right. It's real catchy. It's kind of dark and heavy. They come close to this maybe one time later, but I feel like this is the best ballad they've done. So I will give them credit when they write a good one. I don't like that they did this because it sent them down a path that they just never came back from, but I do like this song. So if they put one on every album and it was this good, I'd have no problem with any of it, but they don't do that. So my skippers on here are Mine, M-I-N-E. It has parentheses, end this way. I don't really like that one at all. but it's not the slow one this time. So they do have a cover on here, Knock You Out, with Tech Nine to LL Cool J cover, and I do like that one. It's not, I don't love it. It's not Bad Company. Nothing I don't think is from this point on. They do some decent covers, but this is, it's okay. It's not great though for me. Where this album really still is kind of heavy for the most part. There are a lot of heavy songs on here. Burn MF, but Watch You Bleed. But the songs just aren't as good for me, and they're not as memorable. So they're the alternative rock stuff they're going to write later or more of later. But I just don't think the songs are as good as on the first three albums. So I just don't like it as much. So I have this as a B minus, and this is number 5. What did you think of The Wrong Side of Heaven?
Yeah, I actually like this one quite a bit. This part 2, totally different story, but this one I actually like a little bit. It's gonna slot in at number 4. I'll just say it's the next best thing that I've listened to after those first 3 albums. I really like it. Going back, I didn't listen to it a whole lot when it came out, but going back was probably the one album I guess I was pleasantly surprised listening to. I wasn't expecting anything after American Capitalist. So when I put this one on, I was actually pleasantly surprised. Maybe it was the way I framed it. But I actually didn't mind this one. Lift Me Up is a phenomenal song. I do like Watch You Bleed. Runs to Heaven is really, really good. I was familiar with that one. Burn MF, very good, high energy track. The one with Maria from In This Moment's pretty good. Anywhere But Here, Dot Your Eyes is pretty good. While I agree that the songs that are really, really good are not as good as the ones on American Capitalist, I feel like this album is still better from anything else that they've done, in my opinion, since American Capitalist. So this one just slots in at number 4. Just a solid B. I might come back to some of these songs again, or if I happen to see them at a festival or something, they played some of these live, I think they would be some cool live tracks. I love Lift Me Up. Just that one right there is probably better songs they've done. Just
They'll ruin it later, though. Don't worry, they'll ruin it for you later.
Yeah, they will. They will. But yeah, so part 1, I'm a fan. I dig it. I think it's pretty good, and probably really the last thing they do that I can properly say, okay, I'm into this. Nothing else after this I can honestly say, but we'll get there and we'll get to that. But this is number 4, B for me.
All right. So on to the second half, also out in 2013, The Righteous Side of Hell. This is the second part. This is November 19th, 2013. 12 songs on here. Kevin Churko and the band again produced this. I have to say, all of these albums, even the first one that wasn't produced by Churko, they all sound great.
Yeah, they do.
They all sound great. Kevin Churko really does know what he's doing production wise. He doesn't really help Zoltan much with lyrics, I have much with lyrics, but
yeah,
he really, really can produce an album. So this is a second part of the album. Like I said, I had hoped from the letdown from part 1 that would be kind of correct. Part 2, like, I liked Lift Me Up a lot. I first heard it, I loved it. I'm like, I was waiting for more of the same, and it just kind of wasn't there. And I was really disappointed because it's not here either. So kind of more of the same as the last one for me, but not as heavy, and that really makes it drop off a lot. So it still sounds like Five Finger Death Punch, like it doesn't change all that much, I guess. But this is the second one in a row now to debuts at number 2 on Billboard for them, which they have a run of these here. My favorites are Here to Die. I like Wrecking Ball. I like Matter of Time. This is, you're going to have some comments about this one too, but I do not really care for Battleborn.
Jesus.
Cold. My Heart Lied. House of the Rising Sun. I like some of their covers, but this one is probably the worst one for me. It's also the one they changed the least. It's kind of just like the original song, and it's just kind of boring in there. I mean, I guess maybe I like it more than the Animals original version, but it doesn't rock at all. There's really not much to it. So This one is just not very good for me. But this one I have as kind of a C plus. I have this number 6. Again, I don't feel like far off as you do, but it is different and it's not nearly as good. The other one I have is a B. I'm definitely in the C range with this one. I could even probably go a little bit lower. There's still some heavy stuff here, but less than volume 1. I do love the cool, faster tempo, even faster tempo Zoltan muted riffs that he does on a few of these songs, like Matter of Time. But there's just not enough of that. It's only on a couple songs. And then some of these songs, they sound like songs they've already or stuff they might have cut out of a single album. Like this was like more of the filler stuff to me. Like these songs aren't even as good as the ones on the previous album, even though I had more that I liked here. But again, that was kind of more of the picking style, and I just like the feel of those songs. But there's not really much here, So, what did you think of Right Side of Hell? I have it number 6, C plus.
Yeah, I mean, you would think the way that I talked about it that I would think it was way different than what you're saying. It's still in the listenable territory, and
Yeah.
we're not in the listenable for me territory yet. So this is still okay, but I don't think it's as good as part 1. And it's got a lot of stuff in it that I just don't really like. You mentioned Battleborn. That's probably my absolute least favorite song that they've ever done. Not only is it a slow ballad, but it's just they are fully now are all in on. We are going to totally go play for one specific group of people, where they're going to go for the soldiers slash the certain crowd. And again, I have respect for the armed services. I'm not one of those people that has a problem with any of that stuff. Obviously they defend the country and they deserve all the credit in the world. But obviously when you're making stuff like this, I feel like it's just aimed towards a certain group. And I think if you're not in that group, people are going to make fun of it a little bit. And I think that's kind of where they have owned that personality at this point. Like, it's just kind of those type of things. So a lot of videos now with the imagery they're showing, like soldiers coming home from war, and then they go out on stage with their you take my
Brian,
that's funny.
Patriot and Patriot adjacent people. Yes.
Right.
Tangential
Exactly.
Patriots for sure. Unbelievable.
But yeah, they go out on stage with their if you want to take my AK from me, you'll take my whatever those sayings are. Like they're totally going after that crowd. So anybody that's not that crowd is going to kind of feel the opposite way. Kind of put all your eggs in the one basket. So they're owning it. Great for them. It's working. They're popular. It doesn't work for me, not because I'm not that group of people. The music's not that good anymore, and it's cheesy. It's really cheesy.
You're not
to me.
Patriot adjacent.
I guess not.
I got to give them a little bit of credit though. Like I totally get what you're saying, and they overdo it for sure. But they do a lot for veterans.
They do 100%.
Wounded veterans. They do free shows for them.
Yep.
They're do a lot of stuff for the armed forces. Like they don't just talk about it too much.
Right.
They do, but they don't just do that. They actually do care, and they actually do a lot for them. They do a lot for charities.
Totally agree. Yep.
Until what they just did on Friday that we'll discuss. That's the opposite of charity.
Well,
but they
that and Ivan Moody is a good dude.
No,
so
he's not. But they do give back, and like they do call attention to things that need to be called attention to.
Sure.
So, but
yeah,
I wanted to say, not that I'm defending, because it is over the top and it's too much, but I do respect them for doing kind of like Toby Keith too is the same way. Like it was a little over the top and a little too much when he made himself too much about that and not about anything else. But the fact that there's attention to these things that need called attention to is good. So
they back it up, and again, anytime that you're supporting the troops in a legitimate way, not writing songs about it, but legitimately making a difference. I think that's phenomenal. But, again, Ivan Moody comes across as such an unlikable dude. It's kind of hard sometimes not to feel that contradiction there. I mean, he's pulled the Axl type multiple times where he didn't show up on stage and somebody was singing with Five Finger Death Punch, and then
Tommy
he comes out.
Vex, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Had to do a couple songs. He's like, I'll get there when I get there. I'm running late or something. He said, I'm like, yeah, there's only 30,000 people here to see us.
Right.
I'm just running late. Couldn't be bothered to be there on time. And he wants to
Yeah.
blame his addiction and whatever else. But yeah, it's just there's plenty of other addicts out there that could show up at the show on time.
Right.
Like so. Whatever, dude. Like you obviously don't give a shit enough to
Right.
really show up for all these people that smell as money to see you. But whatever.
Well, yeah, and I think he did. And you forgive me if you're getting into this stuff later on, but
No,
I think didn't he throw like a temper tantrum too, and he's like, "This is my last show with Five Finger Death," and then
he did.
He quit the band for
Yeah,
a while,
he
and then he came. I don't know.
He did. Like
again,
a child.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
again. You sing all these lyrics about I'll
being a tough guy.
Yeah,
right.
The tough.
And he's not going home. Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, back to wrong side of an album. It just Battleborn is terrible.
That's good. Almost got that one by me.
Yeah, Battleborn is rough for me. Didn't like that.
Flight 555.
Cradle to the Grave is okay. You mentioned Wrecking Ball, not too bad. House of the Rising Sun was okay. Not great. I agree. Probably one of their weaker covers. Overall, there's not very much that's memorable about this, but I did make it through the album. It's not bad music. It's just, for me, it's kind of like you said, not memorable. This one for me is number 6, so the same place as you, C+. Everything after 6 is just not very listenable to me. So this kind of is that cutoff of don't like it, but I'll listen, and then anything after this is just not a fan. Probably will never listen to it again. But this has got a few things. Okay. It's just, I can tell right now, this is just not a band I want to listen to or I'm excited for in any way, shape, or form. So number 6, C+. Wrong side. All right. Evan, part 2.
All right. So on to 2015 now. September 4th. Got Your 6. Comes out, 11 songs on here. Kevin Churko and the band again. This is the shortest album to date by them, with 38 minutes and 23 seconds or something, I think. Yep. Pretty short. There's for me, this is first of all, this is the largest week 1 sales they had to date, 114,000, and debuted at number 2 again for the third album in a row. But for me, I like this one a little bit more. There's some better songs on this one than on the double albums, but not many. I mean, this is a great album by any means, but Jeremy Spencer said he was really happy with this album. He felt that it had all the elements that they were really good at. Yeah, you can take that for whatever it is. I mean, yeah. I guess Ivan was never really that good at lyrics, so, maybe you could just say that, it's as good as he ever was. I don't know. But I do have a lot of favorite songs on here. Like, there's quite a bit on here I like. Well, I guess not a lot, but 4 is more than probably the last 2 albums put together, really. But I like Jekyll and Hyde a lot. I like Wash It All Away. Both of those are classic Five Finger Death Punch sounding songs for me. No Sudden Movement I like, but lyrically it's terrible. Like, I feel like it could have been a great song without the click clack all the time he keeps saying, click clack. This onomatopoeia or whatever it is. It's just what you got to make gun sounds now in your lyrics. Like, yeah, it's a little much. But the song I feel like could be really good. No Sudden Movement. He actually says no sudden movement and then follows it up with no sudden moves. Like, you just said that, you know, and then there's click clacks in there. I'm like, okay, but and I like Meet My Maker a lot. It's the second to last song. It's another kind of classic sounding song by Five Finger Death Punch. Sounds like them, at least for the most part. That's about it as far as songs that sound like them from here on out. So skippers are Got Your 6. I do not like the title track, the first song. I don't like that one at all. And I don't like Question Everything. I don't care for that one. But there really are no drippy ballads, garbage ballads on this album.
Right.
So, and that's kind of what bumps this up to me and doesn't leave it down in the double album range. This kind of bumps it up above those two because it's short and it doesn't have any of that stuff. There's still some filler sounding songs for sure, but also maybe some of the last decent remnants of what this band once was.
Yep.
Unfortunately, but there's some good stuff in here. That's what gets it above those albums, but it's not going to touch any of the first three. So again, there's no drippy garbage ballads really on here at all. So they'll make up for that though. Don't you worry.
They will.
So I have this as a B and I have this at number 4. What did you think I got your 6?
I'm right along with you. The only difference is I have this right in the middle of the double
Okay.
album. So I did like volume one a little bit better,
but yeah, okay,
not
gotcha.
2. So it's number 5 for me, and it's a B minus or so. It's not bad. You pretty much named the songs that are really, really good. I do like the Jekyll and I love the like that works. It's silly.
Yeah,
it works for him.
I kind of want to not like it, but I can't.
Agreed.
If that makes
Agreed.
sense. They do some of that stuff later on too, and I'm like, this is stupid, but it works on this one for whatever reason. It's kind of Oompa Loompa-ish, but
it is, but it does work. Like I can see it live, and I have not seen them since they've done this, but I can see how it works. I don't mind Got Your Six. I think it's an okay song. At least it's heavy. At least it kind of kicks in right away, and I like it. So it's not bad. I think Wash It All Away is phenomenal. I think it's like one of those songs that I forget that it's on one of these later albums. To me, it seems like it fits on an album like War Is the Answer. Like it just
or American Capitalist. Yeah, I totally agree. It's almost like one of those songs that was left over because they had so many good songs. I don't know that this is the case, but I'm just guessing. But it fits so well with those. It almost seems like it should go with Under and Over It or something like that. Like it just fits right in with those. And I don't know why that's here. Maybe they just had one still in them, or maybe this kind of is left over from there where they're like, hey, we had this part of a song. What was that again? And they just put it together and it works. Like it really sounds like them again.
Yep. My Nemesis is okay. Meet Your Maker. I think you mentioned that one.
Yes.
Those are pretty good. So again, it's a solid album. I remember listening to this when it came out because of I heard Wash It All Away on the radio. I heard Jekyll and Hyde on the radio. I was like, I'll give this a listen. And it wasn't too terrible, but yeah, pretty good. Number 5 for me. It doesn't quite fit up to the heaviness of volume 1, but I think it blows volume 2 away. Even though volume 2 is listenable to me, I still think this is pretty well better. So number 5 for me, about a B minus range, and I think that wraps up our 1 through 6. I think, Mr. H.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, it really did it. Yeah, it sure did.
Yep.
Oh boy. So
here we go.
F8, right? No.
Nope.
My bad.
Justice
for None. My bad. Skip one. It's very skippable though.
Mm-hmm.
May 18th, 2018. 13 songs on here. Produced by Kevin Shirko and the band again. This is the last album for Jeremy Spencer, who left with back problems, he said. I guess, didn't he say Daryl Roberts used that one too? But yeah, I guess it probably was legit with him. I mean, maybe playing drums just took its toll on him. I do know some drummers that happened to, so I don't know if it's a seat thing or a posture thing or just it just does kind of get you after a while. But apparently that's why he left. And then when started another band that he sings in is terrible. It's so bad.
Psycho Sinner.
Oh, so bad. I think I don't even remember what it was called. So bad. But there's 2 covers on this album. One, which was Gone Away by The Offspring, was a cover left over from the previous year's Greatest Hits album. I don't really love either one of these. I feel like they're both better than House of the Rising Sun, but Blue on Black, for me, the Kenny Wayne Shepherd song, is a little better than Gone Away. To me, Gone Away is a bit of a snoozer. Like, I actually think that one, the original, is better by The Offspring. So, I don't know. Blue on Black's decent, though. I really would like the song Champagne, I think, if it weren't for the weird rap spoken word lyrics. I love the riff and the groove, but the lyrics and the vocals are terrible.
Really
And
bad.
I just can't get past it. Like sometimes I can just almost block it out, but it's too bad. I can't do it. There's a lot just it's a total filler sounding album to me. There's nothing at all that's really good on here. My favorites are really nothing that's favorite worthy. I mean, the songs just that aren't bad are just kind of mid. They're just whatever. They're just there. Um, Skipper's like I refuse. I refuse to like this song. Is what I refuse. Is this Linkin Park? Was this written by Mike Shinoda? What is this? I don't understand. Who is this? When the Seasons Change is bad. Stuck in My Ways is bad. Like they made up for the lack of ballads on the last album because there's like 3 of them on here. Uh, keep trying. None of these are any good, so keep trying. I guess I don't know, but first you don't succeed. Oh boy, this is not a good album. I have this as a C. This is at number 8, which is I can't even believe it's worse than some of these 2 coming up. But I can't rank them all at the bottom together. I guess so. There's nothing in this album that's very good. Some of it, like I said, is okay, but the weird rapish lyrics choices are bad in a couple of songs, not just the one, not just Champagne. I think I don't even remember what the other one. There's another one that's got a lot of. Yeah, I don't remember. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They all suck. Some of the old elements are in there, but they don't all come together in any of these songs, really. So there's pieces, parts. I'm like, oh, hey, there's a little bit of remnants of what this band used to be, but then it goes away. So, what did you think? I have this, like I said, number 8. I have this as a C. What did you think of Injustice for None?
I liked it less than you did.
Okay.
I think all 3 of these next albums are garbage. Honestly, not much I like on any of them. It was really hard for me to rank all 3 of them because, I mean, you were pretty clear when you told me what your favorite one was, but I honestly couldn't come to that kind of a strict number like you did. Like to me,
He made them all 9s.
I wish I could have, but
Yeah.
like I told you
really,
earlier today, I was listening to the 3 bad albums to try to determine which one is 7 even because I don't know.
Which
I
is
didn't
the best
know.
of the 3 bad albums. That's
Exactly. Yeah, this is really not good. There's one song. So there's one song by them that I can deal with, and the 2 covers really, I think, stronger than any other stuff on this album, and that's not saying much. But I do like the opener, "Fake." In like is just in kind of parentheses because I don't love it. Fake is okay, but nothing else on here I like other than the covers. I do think Gone Away is pretty decent, and an interesting fact to that is the Offspring liked their cover so much that the Offspring did a cover of their song in the style of Five Finger Death Punch. So the band really liked it. I was not super sold on it at first, but it has grown on me. It's okay. I agree with you. Blue on Black is much better. I like their take of that song more. But Fake, Blue on Black, Gone Away, that's it. Nothing else I'm listening to ever again. I Refuse is bad. Even just there's just nothing else on it. I don't even know where I was going with that. It's not good. This is
you're going with it where the album goes nowhere.
This is number 9 for me. I've decided that this was clearly the worst one for me. There was not one song that I would ever come back to, and I think on this next 2 there's at least one song that I liked on both of those. This one I didn't like anything like a lot. I felt like picking the 2 covers is kind of like a cop out here. That the original stuff is so bad. But this is a D for me, and this is number 9.
D for me. All right. So now we move on to F8. I was just trying to get through the last few of these faster, I guess. So now to F8. It's album number 8. Yay. F8. Okay.
F8.
February 28th, 2020. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
13 songs. Kevin Churko produced. Not with band, just Kevin Churko. Weird string intro title track. And a different sounding album overall with a lot of extra production. The weird strings continue in the background of Inside Out. The song is pretty decent. I just don't get the extra production in there. I'm like, who are these guys again with this stuff? I don't know what this is. This new element, like, why is this necessary? Jeremy Spencer is left. Charlie Engine is on drums for Jeremy Spencer. Not as good a drummer. Kind of, it's hard to describe because, like, his timing isn't bad, but I feel like I just saw Ivan Moody for the first time. Did you get scared? Were you scared because he's such a tough guy? Look
Did
out.
he have the red thing on his face? The red
Yeah,
face handprint on his face?
Or he's got like a tattoo on where his hair used to be now or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Charlie, he doesn't. To me, the band loses something. Like Jeremy Spencer's a better drummer than this guy. Like, I don't know if it's just maybe because he joins the band during this extra production part of their career, and Jeremy Spencer was just kind of a straight up, like, they didn't have any extra effects, but I could hear things better. It was cleaner. The bass drum, like the bass drum rhythm was tighter, it seemed like. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this Charlie Engine guy. I feel like they lose something. Yeah, red face thing. Yep. He's gonna make a balloon animal. That's really good because he is kind of a clown. But Zoltan called this a rebirth of the band on this album. I think maybe they needed one after the mostly mid last album. But this isn't a good direction. I wish they had rebirthed into their previous existence when their first albums came out, when they were first born. But when they were battle born back then. Yeah. But this is the last album also for Jason Hook, fantastic guitar player. I didn't get a chance to research as much. I wanted to try to find some dirt, like why he left, because it's just basically the old, what do they call it?
Creative differences.
Differences, right. It's such a non-answer, like, sure, yes, he wanted to write his own riffs and write his own songs, and I kind of get that, but he's got writing credits on every one of these albums, and he was in the band for 12 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of albums, so it's not like all of a sudden now there's creative differences. Like, I know there's more to it than that.
There probably
I really want to know what it is. I just didn't have the time or really the energy to dig into it as much as I wanted to. So,
but the fact that Flat Black is actually pretty good.
It's very old Five Finger Death Punch sounding, though.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like Jason was being held back because
I think personally, because of that, and because of they sound so much different on this album, I don't think he likes all the extra production because Flat Black doesn't have that.
Agreed.
It sounds more like the old Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah,
which I feel like that was something where, like, creatively, maybe the creative differences, like the band wanted to go in that direction. Kevin Churko and Ivan and maybe Zola wanted to go in that direction. Maybe Jason Hook didn't.
Right.
That's kind of what I think happened because they put this out and he was like, man, I really don't like what they did here, like, and then he left. So I feel like that has more to do with it. But again, I don't have anything to base that on, so I didn't really want to call that out as fact, but I kind of feel like that's part of it. I think there's even more to it than that. But anyway, maybe some other day I'll dig into that. But anyway, I don't like this rebirth. Ivan said that Inside was written about his struggles with addiction, which I don't know if he was over with at this point or not. This was 5-6 years ago now. My favorites are I like A Little Bit Off. It's kind of a goofy song. It doesn't really sound like Five Finger Death Punch, but it's pretty catchy. So I kind of do like that one. It's about Ivan being angry. What isn't? I mean, Leaving It All Behind is an okay song. It's a good song, I think, but it sounds like it should be Breaking Benjamin or something. Like, it doesn't sound like them. And I don't know what that supposedly is, what they're trying to do there. Brighter Side of Gray was the only thing I really had that I would, I guess, skip, although I don't think any of this was really that great. Those are my favorite songs on this album, even though those wouldn't be in my top 50 or maybe 40, at least, Five Finger Death Punch songs. But on this album, those songs that I thought were decent, I guess. And I just don't like Brighter Shade of Gray. Although Darkness Settles In is another one of those kind of slow. I don't really love that song, but it's like a dark kind of ballad, which they did well on Wrong Side of Heaven. So this one kind of approaches that, but it's not enough to make it like a favorite song of mine. It's just it has a cool feel to it, but that's about it. So those are kind of what puts this ahead of the last album, Injustice for All, is just those few things that are kind of highlights a little bit. But this is still a 7. This is still C range for me. Yeah, I just don't care for all the extra production, the keys, the strings, the atmospheres, the weird guitar effects, which I think has got to be another reason Jason looks like, dude, don't put stuff on my guitar to make my guitar sound different than what I'm playing. Like seriously, like this dude's a professional guitar player. I totally kind of understand if that's why he left. It's just not them. This is not them. Never has been, and I don't know why it is now. So this is number 7 for me, a C plus. What did you think of F8?
Or Fate, as it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to give it its proper credence because it's not very good. So
yeah, agree.
They should call it something other than Five Finger Death Punch is what they should call it.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. The only one remotely like off this is Inside Out. That first real track. I don't like anything off. This was a boring album to me. It wasn't even really bad to me. It was just really boring. Like to me, it doesn't have the heart. I just going through it. I'm just like, yeah, this is just. It feels more cookie cutter, more pop than anything. It's like pop music with some guitar in it. Is kind of what it felt like to me. Like I don't like a little bit off. Like maybe it's overly cheese to me. Like all right, dude, you got problems. Like I understand, I get it. It's just over the top with the lyrics. It's getting to the point now where the music's not good, the lyrics aren't good, so the lyrics are standing out even more. Like I'm looking for something interesting on these songs, and I'm not finding lyrics. I'm not finding it in the guitar riffs. I'm not finding any guitar solos that are really worth anything. So this is just a tough listen for me for sure. I don't really like any of these songs. Nothing even really stood out for me other than Inside Out. And I was just familiar with that from hearing it on whatever Octane or whatever. It was more just a familiarity thing to me. It's not great. Again, nothing on this album would even be near even some of that stuff on Got Your Six.
Yeah,
it's just not very good here. This one's number 8 for me and a D plus, just for being boring. Which is actually a surprise because your number 9 is my number 7. So we definitely.
Oh, I totally disagree with you, man. Yeah,
right.
No, this is all garbage.
It's not good. Just nothing I would ever listen to. You either.
Yeah,
so
no, sir, not coming back to any of these for any reason. I listen to them now is because of this podcast, and that's it. So I have to review it, but there's no desire to come back to any of it.
Yep.
All right, so on to Afterlife, their 9th and final album, maybe forever. August 19th, 2022, 12 songs. The band and Churko again for the last time, maybe. I guess this album is called it's got Five Finger Death Punch name on it. The songs are pretty tired at this point, not memorable. I couldn't tell you what album most of these songs on if I heard them. It's just, there's nothing at all memorable here. I still don't like the extra overproduced sound. It's even worse on this album. It's almost hard to find guitar in the mix, and there's 2 guitar players in the band.
Yep.
I'm like, where's the guitar? This whole band was built on Zoltan's guitar playing. It's all over the place on the first 3 albums. I can't find it on here.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where it is. Tell me where the guitar is on here. I can't find it. So I don't even know what the dude is whose name replaced him. I mean, it's not his fault, but Andy James replaced him.
The guy with 2 first names.
Yeah. So it's not his fault, but I can't even hear the guitar in here. I don't know how I could fix this band at this point other than I wish they could just go back to the bare bones 5 guys playing their instruments again. Maybe these songs would sound better if they were played that way. I mean, I don't know. It's so not them anymore that I don't even know what this is. IOU is a song that sounds a little bit like Five Finger Death Punch, and then all the background production effects just ruin it. Like the bass drum drop, like in the middle of like the choruses, like boom, and it like shakes your headphones, and I'm like, what was that? Like, did somebody drop something? The echoes, the keyboards, like, is this Motionless in White? Like, who is this band? So, in Blood or Tar, is Ivan even singing on that song?
I don't think so.
Listen to that song and tell me if that sounds like Ivan at all. It almost like has to be a guest vocalist, but there's nobody else listed.
Yeah.
But it almost has to be a guest vocalist. It sounds nothing like him at any point in his career, at anything that he's done. I don't know. I don't even know. The last track, the end, pretty much sums him up at this point. I think that's a perfect ending. Favorites for me, I guess. Welcome to the Circus, the first song, I guess. If I had to pick one.
Yeah.
Skippers, times like these. No thanks. This is just radio friendly alternative crap that sounds like everyone else that I'm so tired of. Pick Up Behind You doesn't even sound like Ivan or Five Finger Death Punch. I don't know what this is. Judgment Day, same thing. What is this? Thanks for asking. All I know. Like, I could go on and on. There's so many bad songs on here. This for me is D easily. This is number 9. Two Finger blah blah. Well, I don't know who even is this band right now. I don't know who this is. I really don't. What did you think of Afterlife?
I will just say that songs 3 through 12 for me are absolute trash. Can't listen to them. Times like these, I keep wanting to hear the Foo Fighters song, so I turned on the Foo Fighters instead because it's a good song. This is not the same Times Like These.
No.
I like Welcome to the Circus about half of it until he starts the ticky tasket. I'm just like, dude, just stop. Yeah, like in the middle of the song, like it's got a decent riff, like you said, it's not bad. Then they do like this breakdown where it like it's these noises like it's like ticky tasket, get a basket. Like I'm like, dude, just stop. It's so bad.
Oh.
I do actually like the title track Afterlife. I think that is actually a really cool riff. You say, where's the guitar in this album?
They found guitar in there?
It's all that on that track. It's
okay.
all there.
I must have missed it.
I like the song Afterlife. That is my redeeming quality of this album. Half of Welcome to the Circus and then Afterlife. That's it. After that, it was horrible. So I almost feel bad putting this at number 7 and a C-, but it had 1.5 good songs, and I couldn't say that about Injustice for None or F8, Fate, Fast and the Furious 8, whatever it is. I listen to Afterlife again after the podcast and just let me know. Like, do you feel any different? Because I thought the song was decent. I felt like that sounded more like one of those songs off of like, what did we say? Wash It All Away. It sounded like a Five Finger Death Punch song, and the others didn't. So, just curious what you think of that one, or you just might be like, yeah, I listened to it and it's garbage, and you're crazy. Maybe, and I might be, and it might be. But yeah, so this one's a number 7 and a C-. It's still bad. You can't really defend any of these roll dem bones. I mean, it just gets so bad. Like. Judgment Day,
Judgment Day.
It's just so bad. But like these is like, to me, that's like the poster child of what they've become.
Yes, times like these. Yep,
times like these. It's like a country bro rap, rock, pop song. It's just, where is the white knuckles? It's not there anymore. It's just
no,
just not there anymore. So.
Yep, it's not. And worse than that, even, if you can believe it, they went and last Friday put out Best of Volume 1. Now I'm going to do a little review of this as an extra, as a little added bonus. All right?
Please do.
What in the actual F is this album? Like, they went and they took songs like Under and Over It, Wash It All Away, Lift Me Up, Bad Company, The Bleeding, and they put The Bleeding on here twice. And they went and ruined these songs.
They re-recorded them, right?
Re-recorded them,
Yeah.
right? Like they were supposed to re-record all of their stuff because the Prospect Park Records or whoever it was sold their masters for their previous albums, which I guess happens a lot. So they were going to re-record these albums so they have their own copies of the masters, but just recorded, I guess, with the guys in the band now. So they were supposed to start with Way of the Fist and re-record that entire album and put it out. And it was supposed to come out in 2004. Well, here we are in 2025, and we get this hunk of shit that came out where they just went and ruined some of their best songs, Jekyll and Hyde. Like, they ruined these songs. Ivan Moody doesn't sound anything like he used to sound. Like, it sounds like he got Five Finger throat punched. Like, he can't do any of this, like the harsh, angry vocals that I said sounded so good before. This album actually pissed me off that they wrote these songs. Like, and the rest of it is these ballads everybody loves so much, which is garbage too, but like Lift Me Up, garbage. Under and Over It, Wash It All Away, garbage. The Bleeding it's unbelievably bad what they did to The Bleeding. And then they follow it up 3 songs later with an even worse live version of it. It's like they took the worst sounding live version of that song they could find and they said, yeah, let's put it on this album so everybody can buy it. You know what they should have done with this? They should have given it to you for free to all the iPhone users like U2 did. So you could just delete it. At least you don't have to spend $16. Like, they should be ashamed of themselves for taking people's money for this album. And guess what? It's number 1 right now.
Yeah, it's
It's
bad.
not. People are buying it up. Do not buy this album. Listen to it first, and then listen to the original version of songs, and then tell yourself, do I really want to spend? Do not buy this album. Do not spend money on this album. You're wasting the way better versions of all of these songs are on their original album. Don't buy this garbage. This is just a money grab. This is fraud, is what this is. It's total garbage. Total garbage. I don't know what they're. If I ever gave an album an F, this would be it right here. This is an F album.
You know what,
Do not buy it.
Mr. H.
It's terrible.
Mr.
Dude,
H.
I was more pissed about this
That's what I was
yesterday than
gonna
I am
say.
now, if you can believe that.
That's what I was going to say.
My God.
He was texting me last night, like, emergency podcast right now. I need to rant. I'm like, man.
Dude, I cannot believe. Listen to these songs. Listen to the original versions. It's unbelievable what they did to these songs. It's so bad. Anyway, all right. So I had to give an F for that. I had to get that in here because, like I said, I was so fired up about this. It really did. It made me angry. It really did. His voice sounds awful. I don't think they're ever going to put out anything again. If they don't, I don't want really anything to do with it because it's going to sound like either like those last 3 albums, which all suck, or it's going to sound like this, which is even worse.
Yeah.
So it's just not a band anymore. They're not Five Finger Death Punch anymore. They should just call themselves something else.
Yeah.
They really should. So overall, I got number 9, Afterlife, number 8, Injustice for None, number 7, F8, number 6, Righteous Side of Hell, number 5, Wrong Side of Heaven, number 4, Got Your Six, and then the really good stuff, number 3, American Capitalist, number 2, War is the Answer, and number 1, the ever great Way of the Fist. And at least they only ruined the Bleeding on this album and didn't ruin any, because man, if they would have redone Ashes and Way of the Fist and Salvation and it sounded like this, oh man, I'd have broken something, man. I'd have been so mad that they did that. Like, just leave it alone. If you're gonna make it sound awful, leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Yep.
So that's my ranking. Who you got, buddy?
All right, number 9, Injustice for None. Number 8, F8. Number 7, Afterlife. Number 6, Wrong Side of Heaven, Part 2. Number 5, Got Your Six. Number 4, Part 1 of the double album. Number 3, same top 3 as you, just a little different order. 3, American Capitalist. 2, Way of the Fist. 1, War is the Answer. So pretty much right on with this, just a little bit different with our top 3, middle 3, and last 3, but we're all along the same path here. So it's hard not to be. I knew we would be. Again, the bad stuff is the bad stuff. The good stuff is the good stuff, and the okay stuff is just in the middle. But it's a path. It's a whatever graph going straight down. So
definitely, it's got a slope. It's got a rise over run.
Yeah, sure does.
But yeah, it's wondered when I was ranking these, like I had Way of the Fist first and Afterlife 9 right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I wondered if this was going to be the first ever group that we did where I ranked them 1
Down
through
order,
9
yeah.
in order the order that they came out. And it didn't work out that way, but it was pretty close. But yeah, dude, that greatest album, man. Oh, I don't know. They've already put out 2 greatest hits albums anyway with the kind of the original version, so I don't know why they felt like re-recording these and made it so much worse. But hey, you're the darkest burning star. Oh, it's so bad, dude. I'm telling you, it's so bad.
Yeah.
So
all right,
we got to end it on that hot garbage. So steaming pile that they put out on Friday, of course.
Well,
but yeah, the last few albums haven't been good anyway. So I guess I'm not surprised. It just tells me that I really don't want to hear anything else from these guys again. So
all right,
I know Zotan will come to my house and bend me up like and put me in a pretzel, but
probably not.
You know, I
probably
don't think
not, but you never know.
Care what I have to say.
If anybody did, it would be probably Ivan. Would probably be the one
Ivan can come on over, dude. Come on over
with his knuckles.
yeah. He's not gonna take any control over here. So
that's true. All right, Mr. H, what do we got next week?
I believe we have the Fear Factory. Fear is not a factor for you.
Fear is evidently not a factor for you, Mr. H.
Fear Factory. We're going to continue with F. And then I'd have to look. I don't know. Are we going back to the 80s and doing Great White or somebody with G, Godsmack, maybe somewhere in there?
Yeah, something like that.
But definitely Fear Factory next week. Anticipate that to be much better than some of this week. So I don't expect it to fall off quite like this did. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely see.
I don't think I will have a rant in me like I did this week for this one.
Yeah, maybe not. They've been pretty consistent. Fear Factory still sounds like Fear Factory now.
Stuff. Yeah, they do. Even with a different singer, but they still
different, all kinds of stuff.
That's true.
I think they only have the guitarist left. I think.
Do you know?
Yeah, Dino Cesares, or whatever his name is. But yeah, I think that's all that's left. I think they all left. Ray left, the drummer, and Christian left a long time ago.
Oh yeah, Christian
Burton C. Bell, old
Burton C. Christian Wolver.
Yep, and Burton C. Bell.
Burton C. Bell. I knew he was gone. What's he doing? Like
he does his own thing.
Roberts a little bit, and how I feel like Daryl Roberts just fell off the face of the earth. Like that guy was a really good guitar player. He was in Wasp, and he comes into this band. He was in this band for one album. Did that other band, Syntanic, I think, and they never even put out an album. And the last even entrance in Wikipedia for Daryl Roberts, it says he's still alive. He's 51, but the last reference in Wikipedia is from 2010, from April of 2010, from 15 years ago. Like, what happened to Daryl Roberts? I was like, sure, I'm sure I'm going to see this guy in another band somewhere, but he just gone. I don't know.
So Burton C. Bell does a band called Ascension of the Watchers now. It's a American goth band.
Maybe that's just why I just kind of fell off my metal radar. I just figured somewhere I'm going to see this guy singing in some. Definitely got a unique style and voice, you know. So I was like, I'm definitely going to see this guy somewhere, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah,
so
definitely. All right, well,
do you listen to them?
No.
Yeah.
No, I
just what a shame.
Don't. Yeah.
But we'll get into all that.
Hopefully they get back together at some point. That sure would be nice. But we'll see. I think their new singer's pretty good. I mean,
I saw them live like 2 years ago with Static X. I think I won tickets from Metal on Metal, and they were really good. They sounded amazing. But
totally agree.
It's that's kind of a thing for them. They're kind of a produced live band too. So it's every time I've seen them, they've sounded great. Yep. They don't ever sound bad, but I'm not sure that I'm not sure that they're doing everything that I'm hearing either live,
right.
if that makes sense. So, but we'll get into it all next week. And I wish I could say that this was more fun listening to this band than it was, but unfortunately, it wasn't. The first day I did all 3 of the first albums, and I loved it, and then it was just all downhill. Yep. Like you said, it was kind of a chore there at the end. So,
bands change, and
dude, it just crushes me, man. I love this band like I haven't loved many other bands for a couple years, 4 years there. It's just such a shame. It's such a shame, man. They were so good. And like I said, where my interest was waning, their popularity was blowing up. So I guess more power to them. Who am I? But man, it crushes me because they were so good. So good.
Well, let's not end. Let's end it on a cheers to our man Ozzy.
Right.
Rest in peace, Ozzy.
Rest in peace, Oz, the Prince of Darkness. There'll never be another one. Not even close.
Nope. He's legendary, and his music will live forever. And
yeah, thank God for that, right? Like you got his music, at least it'll never go away. But
and Brian S., how fun were those Ozfests back in the day? Without Sharon forcing him to make money at those Ozfests, I would never have had such fun, discovering all these new bands and seeing all those bands. So again, all love for all that whole thing. And
we're gonna you're our friend, our other friend Brian Hendrickson. He kind of nailed it. He's like, we've lost some great ones over the last 4 or 5 years, but unfortunately, the next 5 or 10 years lose a lot more, man.
Yeah,
the Deep Purples, the Black Sabbaths, the Led Zeppelins, these guys aren't getting any younger. There's gonna be just sad times ahead. It's only the beginning of that. So it's a real bummer. But anyway, all we can do is enjoy what he left us. So at least he was able to do that last show. So that's kind of amazing that 18 days later he was not with us anymore after doing that show. So only Ozzy, only Ozzy. Only Ozzy.
Like on his terms, he's like, I'm going to have that concert and I'm out.
I'm going to make it and then peace. Yep. Only Ozzy, man.
All right. Well, once again, thanks, Brian S., for tuning in. As always, thanks for chatting with us. And, thanks for checking us out, everybody. Don't forget, we're on Spotify. We're on live almost every Tuesday on YouTube. Check us out next week for Fear Factory, and then we will see you in the next one.
Rock on!
Looks like you've been missing a lot of work lately.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
What would you say you do here?
God damn it. Bob, we love playing here tonight. My brother's ready.
It helps if you think of it as a game, Bob. Every game has a winner and a loser.
You must possess strength to inflict pain, Bob.